So, firstly, welcome to another developer Q&A. Before we begin, let me tell you a little bit about Panda Cat Games. Just in case you're a brand new face here, we are a collective of friends working on a very cozy two-player co-op game, Heartwood Village. It's a game all about friendship and being silly together whilst helping a cute little village prepare for a very important festival that takes place every year. So you will complete lots of activities together like painting fences, fixing bridges, herding lost kittens, and helping out at Rabbit's Ranch. So if you haven't already, you can follow and wishlist Heartwood Village here. Uh, yes, just popping the link in chat, so you can do that there. So for anyone that hasn't been to one of our dev Q&As before, this is a cozy little space where we interview folks on the team about different aspects of game development. Today we've got our amazing talented artists. And if there are things you'd like to ask our guests, you can go to this link in the chat to ask or upvote questions. It is the Slido link. So first of all, I'm going to pick on you guys in a loving way. I would love if you could give your name, your previous experience, how long you've been at Panda Cat, and what your role is at Panda Cat. So Katie, I'm going to start with you.
Thank you so much, Nash. Yeah, so I'm Katie, and I am a technical artist slash art coordinator, general arts person. But yeah, I've been working with Panda Cat for just shy of a year now. I joined the project initially to kind of help develop the art for Gamayo demo build, and I've just ended up staying ever since then. And yeah, I think that was everything that you asked me to cover. So I will pass on to whoever the next person is.
Yes, well, I'm going to go over to Oyku, who's next to you on my screen. So yes, over to you, Oyku.
Hi, my name is Oyku, and I've been in Panda Cat Games for around 6 months, and I've also done a mentorship as well, from Raccoon's Recruit to the Panda Cat Games mentorship. But yeah, I've done that one, and I'm a 2D 3D artist. Currently working on 2D concept art for environments.
Incredible. Okay, and right below you, your neighbor is Mia. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep. Hi, I'm Mia. I do 3D characters mainly, but I've been doing a bit of everything, to be honest, at the minute. I've been here since April, so I'm still quite new, and I've forgotten the rest of the questions, I'm going to be honest with you.
That's all right. What is your role at Panda Cat?
I think my camera's gone, but yes, I do the 3D work along with Anna. That is all the questions then, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
You're good. You're good. All good. And last but not least, we've got Anna.
Hi, my name is Ana, or my second name is Ana Cristina, and I am a 3D environment artist, and I have been helping in Panda Games, creating like 3D props. And lately, I have been doing also researching in some pieces of optimization, or trying to help in that regard as well.
Yes, amazing. Okay, well, with that being said, I've put your portfolios in the chat. Should anybody want to see our artists' work, you can have a look through. But obviously after we've had this this chat. So okay, Anna, I don't know if this is me, but I think I've lost your camera. Nope, you are back. Amazing. So first question, and just a reminder to you all, like, feel free to put your questions in through Slido and we can get to them as soon as we can. But first things first, what made you want to move into art as a career? So I'm going to go back around. So Ada, I'm going to start with you this time. What made you want to move into art?
Well, since I was little, I think since I was like literally 3 years old, I was so proud of myself because like, oh, I am so good at art. I could like draw in these like books, like they have figurines, and I draw and I don't pass from one line to another in those like drawings. I don't know, drawings like with the crayons and everything. So I was like, oh, I want to focus more on that. And
Oh.
then I transitioned into being like traditional art, then illustration, and ultimately I ended in 3D. So I like trying as well new techniques in art as well. So I think that's the development is really fascinating to me.
So you think you've always wanted to be an artist, really, from when you were 3? You've always been on that path. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
passion.
Well, actually, this is selfishly for me, but if you folks have your old artwork from when you were kids or when you were first starting, I'd love to see them. Okay, so over to you, Mia. What made you want to move into art as a career?
So my mum is a pretty good artist. So I grew up kind of watching her draw. She used to like paint all our favorite characters when we were children on like her bedroom walls. Um,
Oh, cute.
and I think that really helped, to be honest. Like just seeing that every morning was like, I want to do something like this in the future. So I did illustration at university. And then I realized that art is a hard job. And I kind of didn't do much for a little while. And
Mhm.
then my partner was like, you play a lot of Sims. You keep filling your computer with all this content from other people. If you learn how to use Blender, you can just do that yourself. So that's how I got
Wow.
into 3D art, because I wanted to stop paying for Sims expansion packs.
That is such a good reason, though, and that's amazing. Wow, yeah, like Sarah said, we need to see your mom's art. If you have any pictures of the art that inspired you, would love to see that. But yeah, that's incredible. I
I'm
love
sure there
that.
will be. Look,
um, and then Oku, over to you. What made you want to move into art as a career?
I think it's similar with me. I grew up doing art, and just around like the age of 15, I was already playing games and very interested. I've realized I could make art, and that can be a job and can be used in games, and that sort of like what made me want to go art as a career in games. And I've also studied illustration as well, and I've always started off as a 2D artist, and over the course of my illustration course, I was able to do some 3D, and through that I had a bit of a generalist background, and I've also enjoyed doing animation, 3D modeling, and I think being 2D concept art being my main sort of interest, now I sort of like cycled back into doing more of that. So I've done my exploration, and now I sort of gonna go back and use all of those skills and just improve more on my 2D side.
Very cool. Yeah, I think there's something really cool about being a generalist because I feel that you can use different parts of your experience to inform whatever you're working on now. So yeah, and I've definitely seen that in your work, Oiku, too. And Katie, how about you? What made you want to move into art as a career?
Yeah, I feel like very similarly to everyone else, I've always been very like artistically inclined. Like since I was a kid, like I'd always been making like these insane mad comics and things like that. I'd always be like doodling and drawing, like even in classes, I'd always be doodling when I was supposed to be doing my work and stuff. And yeah, I like did like art A level and was just like, and then I ended up doing like a game design degree at college as well. Like I basically did my A levels twice, and then like I did it at university and I was pursuing like kind of different areas. I kind of also ended up being a bit of a generalist whilst I was at university. I was learning a lot about 3D, I was learning a lot about 2D. I entered into the industry about 8 months after I graduated, and I like started like continued to develop my skills as a generalist, and then just slowly merged more towards like the technical aspect because I always really found like engines really fascinating, and like wanted to learn way more about like how shaders were made, like the maths behind the artwork and engines, and like yeah, just like getting a little bit more like tech So yeah, I guess that's my inspiration has always been there, especially from like indie games, and yeah, Nintendo a lot as well when I was younger.
Oh my goodness. That's such an interesting path, like your technical side blooming out of your creative and artistic side as well, which is very cool. Um, just looking at the chat, yeah, Sims 3, absolutely. If left to my own devices, I would still probably be playing Sims 3, but I've needed to pay rent and do various things as an adult. So I have removed it from my computer for my own safety as well. So we've got a couple of questions that have come in from the audience, which I'd love to get to. So from Eliza, I'd love to ask you guys, what's been your favorite piece thus far in your work? So I'm going to pick a wild card. Oyku, do you have a favorite piece that comes to mind?
That's I mean I'm assuming it's within the Heartwood Village, right?
Oh no, I think generally it could
In
be
general?
anything. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I just the first thing popped into my head was the gate actually. It translated into 3D quite well.
Mm.
And I quite like looking at it with the 3D and all the texturing done onto it. It looks really cool. In general, I'm not really sure. There's like a recent illustration I've done that's on my Instagram. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like a very dark girl figure with like a wolf in the background. I
Oh,
quite
you
like
love
that
wolves,
one.
don't you, as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's how I started art. I was just drawing wolves every night. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get you guys in we'll make a thread and you guys can put all of the artworks that we talked about today. But yeah, I would love to see that. And for a bit of context for you in the audience as well, Oku made concept art for the gate that appears in the trailer, right? That's what we're talking about. And our talented team brought that into 3D, which you can see. Very cool stuff. Okay, so Mia, how about you? Do you have a favorite piece that comes to mind as well that you've worked on?
So my favorite piece, Panda Cat, so far, I think probably has to be the swing set that I did.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's been shared just yet, but it was really nice. I think the concept art in particular was really nice to work from, which obviously helped.
Mhm.
But I just really like how that ended up turning out. And then my favorite piece overall. So I also work on another game, and I really like tested my limits with this one. I had to like figure out how to use not camera tracking, but like superimpose an actual like real life image and make characters that are 3D like in there and like work with all the
Oh
lighting and
yes.
everything.
Yeah, that's in your portfolio, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that took me ages to figure out how to do. But I was so proud of myself afterwards. I was like, I think that might be my favorite one just because of how much time I spent.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Yes, if you haven't already, do check out our artist portfolios. But if you want to do that after this, that's cool too, because we are listening to them. Katie, how about you? Do you have a favorite piece?
Yeah, I was just thinking about this. It's interesting because, like, I guess being like tech art, it's like a little bit more like it's a little bit more less specific about what my favorite
Mhm.
piece is. I really enjoyed. I did a lot of set dressing for the trailer. I really enjoyed like that final
Mm.
shot where they're running across the bridge. I
Yeah.
recently like figured out how to look. We had an issue with like one of the characters where there was like with the blending around the face, and I recently resolved that issue, and I was like quite chuffed with that. And the way I resolved it with like getting the face like animations to swap out, that's not necessarily like an artistic like portfolio thing. It's more just like a personal achievement that I'm quite pleased about.
No, it's so
um
important as well. And I think I just said you're a witch. There's no other explanation. We couldn't figure it out, and you have figured it out, and you're using magic.
yeah Absolutely. And then I guess my favorite my favorite personal piece that I've done, well, one of them is I did some commission work a while ago for Loading Bar, which is like a video game bar in they've got one in Stoke Newington and one in Brighton. But I did some of the artworks for Loading Bar, and it's like these like little kind of like Where's Wally-esque kind of art environments where it's like in isometric, and you look in and there's like all these like weird fun little details, because like I do
So
illustration on the side of
cool.
everything else I do, and yeah,
Mhm.
I just has like a lot of like chaos and like yeah, like it's very fun to look at, and that, yeah, was probably one of my favorite gigs that I've done.
That is so cool. I'm just bringing it up so people can see as well from your site. Loading bar. Yeah, I've got it here. If you guys want to take a look at that. And Anna, how about you? Do you have a favorite piece?
Well, from Panda Cat Games, I really like to do the bridge for like the broken bridge that's in the trailer, because it's like my first piece that I did for the game. So it's also like, oh, how I figure it out, how it should adapt, or how to create the style. So it was a really nice experience to work with as well. And for myself, I think it will be I have a piece that is inspired in the Studio Ghibli. So I think that for myself is also the piece that I am most proud of in my ArtStation portfolio as well. So.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember seeing that when you first were put on our radar, and I just thought we have to get her in the team. It is incredible. Yeah, really lovely stuff, guys. And yes, we'll obviously again like repost your portfolio links for everybody to look at after as well. Okay, so we have another audience question, and I think this is just useful for any artist, regardless of which discipline you're in. Have you ever experienced any artist block, and what did you do to overcome it? Ooh. So yeah, gonna come back around. So Anna, how about you? Have you experienced artist block? What did you do to get around it?
Oh, well, I experience a lot of artistic, like it's very common. I think the thing that always helps me is like having a focus goal. Like that's why I also like it to be in like Panda Cat games, because like having something to work towards, like you have to finish in a certain amount of days, is also a thing that always have helped me, like having to finish something. And that happened in like the Steam trailer. It was the Steam trailer, right?
Yes.
And it was really productive, and I was like, oh, I finished all of this in so little days. I was very happy to, like, it evaporates the artistic blocks when you need something to get done. So yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, yeah, maybe it's just like the idea of like other people depending on you, or like some like a deadline to work towards, can really kind of get your creative juices flowing for sure. Katie, how about you? Do you, like artist block? How do you get around it? Do you have, a secret ingredient that we can pull from?
Yes, artist block, very common, happens a lot. Happens to the best of us as well, I think. I think often the best thing that I can do when I get artist block is just like leave it alone for a little bit and kind of let it brew, and just kind of engage with people and talk about like like what's going right, what's going, getting new perspective on it, I think is probably a good way to approach it. Or even just like leaving it for a little bit to marinate and moving on to something completely different, and or just like something completely removed from like game dev in general, like reading or like crafting, anything that just kind of takes you out of that mindset. Because I think when you sit on something for too long and you're looking at it and you're thinking, obsessing over all the tiny details, and you're thinking what's going wrong with it, it's very unhelpful to just have it from your perspective. So yeah, either getting other people's perspectives or just an entirely new one from your own perspective, I think is the best way to kind of bring in new ideas and new insights.
That's such a great tip. I think generally speaking, like for creative block, that I've experienced before. Like even just going for a walk can be immensely helpful. Just taking some time away, I think, is a great one. How about you, Oyku, artist block? Has it ever happened to you? What
Yep,
have you done if so?
all the time. It's yeah, I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm constantly in it, but I keep doing work, but I still feel like it still exists around me, and it's kind of hard thing to feel like, oh, it's like it's gone, I don't have it anymore. And with me, two things. If I haven't done any work in a while, if I can get that sort of first start and actually just draw anything, that doesn't matter what it is. If I can just get a piece of paper or just open Clip Studio Paint and start drawing, I can really feel it dissolving away quite easily. And it doesn't, as long as I don't pressure myself into, okay, I need to like do this thing, I kind of just start enjoy the actual act of drawing. And one thing is that sometimes I realize I haven't really looked into any new art recently, so I just go on Pinterest and I'm like, oh, it's actually really interesting, and this is what I like doing and what I like looking at. And I feel like that sort of like kind of refreshes the air of your mind with this all like I think social media looking at too much YouTube Reels is not very good, and something I feel like if you do that too much, you realize you actually haven't looked at art and you've been just watching Reels for a while. So
True, very true. Yep, I can see the other artists nodding as well. No, totally. I think looking at art, especially art that is so different to yours as well, can be really interesting and cool. So yeah, expanding your creative horizons, right? So yeah, again, another great tip for you guys. A great question. And then finally, Mia, artist block. Have you ever experienced it? What have you done?
So I actually often go out and do a bit of gardening. I feel like the actual like the fresh air and the different space really helps to just clear everything. Otherwise, if it's not like I'm not in the mood to draw, sometimes it's more for me personally. Sometimes it's more of the artist block of I feel like what I'm gonna produce now has to be perfect. And sometimes the easiest way to get over that kind of artist block is to just get a post-it note and draw on that and then spin it. Because sometimes you need to remember that you're not always going to create something perfect. And that's okay. No one does. But I think that is something that I do get in my head a lot, and I do need to try a bit harder to get out of that bit.
Again, another great tip. Yeah, drawing on a post-it and just like binning it, just a one-off thing just for you. That's really awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we've got quite a few audience questions coming in, which is great. Oh, I love this question. Okay, so do any of you have pets that inspire you with your art? So I don't know if all of you have pets. So are you shaking your head? Hands up if you have pets. You got pets? Mia, do you want to tell us about your pet? Do they inspire you or do they distract you?
So he doesn't live with me, unfortunately. He's my mum's.
Oh.
But I still get photo updates constantly. So I have a little Yorkshire Terrier called Bertie.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he's really cute. He's getting very old now, but he thinks he's still a puppy. And he brings me so much joy, and he brings me so much joy for my final piece for university, my illustration course. I had actually painted him in like a little suit and like gold leafed a load of stuff and everything for him.
My gosh.
So I don't know. Pets are very cute and they're a lot of fun, and I think they deserve the world.
Just the thought of Bertie in a little suit is making me want to cry. So if you have any pictures of Bertie, please feel free to put them in chat.
I will put them in chat, yeah.
Katie, you put your hand up. You have a pet. Do they distract you? Do they inspire you?
It's actually my parents' pet as well. I was like literally back at my parents' last week looking after her, but yeah, she's like I don't know how to describe her because she's kind of a mixture of like a Patterdale with pug, but like she kind of looks like a very small Labrador and often gets mistaken for being like a Labrador puppy because she's just like this like weird size. But she's also very elderly. She's an elderly lady who doesn't know she's an elderly lady. She's
Oh my
like I think like
gosh.
11 or 12 now. But she's called Tessa, and she's just like the calmest, like sweetest dog I think I've ever had. And she always like brings me so much joy. Like whenever I go back, she's just like the easiest dog to dog sit because she's so like laid back and doesn't really bark and just like occasionally likes to go out for walks. And yeah, she's just so easy to look after, an absolute dream. And yeah, like I will occasionally get diverted from what I'm doing to give her a lot of cuddles and a lot of attention, which she knows she loves it, and she knows that she's cute and she'll get away with anything. So yeah, definitely
But I think
inspiring.
it does add, yeah, it adds to the inspiration. So really, you're winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Anna, do you have pets that you get inspired by? Anna, not you. Maybe in
I
future.
my grandma has a budgie, and we got the budgie for her just around 6 months ago. And well, she's in Turkey, and I was there for a bit, and she managed to take care of it quite well. And now the budgie speaks a lot. You guys wouldn't
Whoa.
understand. He actually speaks Turkish, so but it's really impressive. He kind of like sits my grandma's shoulder and watches telly. So I have, yeah, it's really cute. I have drawn him when I was there. It was quite fun. I haven't had any sort of like new inspirations, but now sort of gave me idea of maybe making like a character with a grandma with a bird. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, we need to see that if you do. And yeah, we absolutely need to see the drawings inspired by these very cute sounding pets. So yes, amazing question. Jesse, yes, it was Jesse you asked. Oh, incredible. So I'm going to ask a production question, and I'm going to jump back into an audience question just because I think it'll be quite interesting. But I would love to ask, how did you develop the art style for Heartwood Village? And I'm going to just kind of like call on Katie. Are you right? You good? Katie, yeah, I think you've kind of become our like art lead, so I'd love to pitch this question to you first. How do we develop the art style?
Yeah, an interesting question. I guess a lot of the inspirations we've kind of inherited from the origins of the game with our art director who left a while ago, sadly, but he kind of had this idea of what the world should look like, and like the sort of the colors and the themes, the ideas. We've inherited that and essentially kind of added a splash of like Southeast Asian influence. And yeah, this is like an ongoing thing we're doing at the moment as well. We're like redeveloping like these ideas currently, and making like redirecting the themes and the colors and stuff. But the idea was inherently based on this idea of like this world is like, it's fun, it's colorful, it's cute, and you want to be a part of it. I think is kind of like the vision, and everything's very round and soft and squishy, and like it's like almost like tiny little toys that you want to play with. I think that's kind of the idea of like what the essence of what we're building right now.
Yeah, and Alex, who is one of our concept artists, who isn't here today, but we will get her at some point in the future. I've threatened her with it, lovingly. But yes, she has been really instrumental in putting together a lot of the art that has turned into what you see. Oyku as well as one of our concept artists. And so I think like it's become a really cool conversation between the art team, seeing you guys work. Mia, Anna, Oyku, do you have any thoughts about developing the art style? How have you found it? Feel free to jump in.
I feel like having to look at references a lot is very much needed, especially with real life references. more artist stylized references and sort of like trying to put them together. I think recently I've realized actually starting with color seems to help a bit more, because how the game is very much currently is very colorful and out there, and when you look at it, it's you kind of recognize it. And if I start from just sketching, I feel like it doesn't really match that feel, and it feels a bit kind of discouraging for the first bit. So just actually getting those silhouettes with color feels like a lot more quicker way to see how the style and shape would fit into the game. Yeah.
Very cool. Yes, you can see in chat. Yeah, Sarah's taking a screenshot of some of our references. I think Southeast Asia is a wonderful well of inspiration that we've been drawing a lot from. Everything from the foliage to architecture. Yeah, it's been very cool to see it from your filter. Yeah, Anna, did you have any more thoughts about art development? How
Well,
you
it
find
was amazing because when I joined, I was like discovering like what has been done before as well. So what it was like the art style that we are like Panda Cat Games already has, and some sort of well how I could interpret that well to make a new piece of art for the game that looks similar was the thing that really makes me like, oh, you do a lot of gradients or something like that. So I was like to think about what was like the keys that I could see from the 3D art pieces.
Yeah, very cool. And how about you, Mia, as well as a 3D artist?
I feel like I didn't have too much to do with the actual like development part of all the like the different like textures, styles, and stuff. I've had a lot of fun implementing them. I think I'm
Yeah.
starting to get into the like the actual exploring bits now. But yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been a team collaboration, and well, hopefully you guys in the audience will see much more from us very soon. All right, so we're gonna go back to audience questions, and I'm gonna look at some that have been upvoted. So reminder, you can, if you don't necessarily want to ask a question but see an interesting question that somebody else has asked, you can upvote it, and that kind of pushes it to the top of the queue. So anonymous asks, feel free to claim it if you did ask this. What inspires you most in your work? Does a movie, place, or experience come to mind? Inspirations. Okay, let me pick on you, Anna. What are you inspired by?
I think I really like all of these new like stylized arts that are arriving to 3D as well. Like since I think since Arcane, since Spider-Verse, I really like
Yes.
how we could jump into because I think previously we have just like the typical like oh we hand paint everything or something like that. But this is like to another level of stylization that I think is really inspired me, as well as Marvel Rivals also do something interesting like that. So I really like to
Yeah.
see how like stylization is currently being pushed into 3D mediums. Like I love all of them.
So cool. Yes, and I highly recommend the art book from Arcane if you can pick it up. It is, sorry, I'm just going to share this up really quickly, but it is amazing if you can find it anywhere. Very, very cool. Top tier stuff. Excellent references, Anna. Oyku, how about you? What are you inspired by? Is it movies, places, experiences?
I'm with my personal creative sort of area. I'm really inspired by fireflies and starry nights, forests, dreams. I think those sort of concepts are very inspiring, and I do get sort of inspired by my own dreams. Just how absurd they are. Yeah, and I really like crickets. At nighttime. Summertime, that's like sort of like a feeling that I really like, and I'd like to. Yeah, bugs are cool. I started
Yeah.
playing Grounds. Like literally bought it. I don't know if any of you guys playing it. I bought it yesterday, and I've started playing it, and it has bugs, and you're a tiny human. It's like a survival game.
Oh
Um,
yes. Mm-hmm.
and I've been getting quite a bit of inspiration actually. I'm gonna
Mhm.
play more and see how that possibly could translate with how you build with the grass is quite interesting. I kind of want to look into that and how they maybe designed it. I need to research more, but that's the goal. That's the next one that I'm quite inspired by.
Oh, I love that. I love the thought of you like playing the game, but also like putting your analytical mind into it. It's
You
like,
know,
wait, how did you do this? Yeah.
because we were doing some foliage when I was playing last night. I was like, oh my god, like actually this is like a really good source because they have a bunch of really cool creative ways of like you kill bugs. It's really sad because bugs are really cute in the game. And then
Oh.
they have you get materials and you can make stuff from those materials, and those items look very sort of designed. Oh, grounded. Did I say ground? Oh, I think I said ground. It's grounded. Anyways, yeah, I think that game. If you guys don't know, you should check it out.
Incredible. Okay. Mia, where do you get your inspiration from? What are you most inspired by?
Usually other people's artwork, to be honest. I like to scroll Pinterest in my spare time. I have hundreds and hundreds of private boards that no one will ever see. It's all full of things that I wish I made. Um, and then while I work, I tend to actually have YouTube on my other screen. But usually it's not like I try my best to stay off the shorts because I'm fully aware that once I'm in there, I will keep scrolling. But I'll tend to have like just people doing like a speed process or whatever they're working on. Because I find that watching someone else work, it's very inspiring. So I usually do that, especially when I'm working on like 3D stuff. So I'm like, it's nice to have someone else doing 3D stuff there as well.
Very cool. Yeah. Other people's art, absolutely. I also wanted to just put in chat, there's like two other places that I also like looking at other people's art or just like references. The same.energy where you can upload a picture and they'll try and find like kind of similar images with same energy, if that makes sense. And then there's cosmos.so. So feel free to jump into those. And then Katie, what are you inspired by?
Yeah, I guess similarly to everyone else, like my inspiration comes from everywhere, and I think like my inspiration also changes like all the time. Like currently, I'm like super into fish at the moment. I love aquariums, and I love like the essence and the vibe.
Yes.
It's like I keep like thinking about like how it can like recreate it. Like I sometimes look at stuff and I'm like, how could I recreate that like in 3D?
Mhm.
Like I used to do this thing where I go to like the V&A or like any museum and I'd look at pots from like I don't know, like ancient Rome or something. I'd be like, that's so cool, I want to like make that in Blender or something like that.
Oh.
I just like take pictures with lots of weird like shaped teapots. There's like a pumpkin shaped teapot in the V&A which I'm like low-key a little bit obsessed with. And I like had a project a while ago, just recreated that in Blender.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love going to museums for that sole purpose because I feel like
Mm.
it's such a like amazing resource for inspiration. Like it can truly come from not just like pictures and paintings, but like big pieces of furniture and like eclectic little miscellaneous items. And I
Yeah.
also love animals, fish, foliage. I love foliage as well, like trees and
Mhm.
plants. I guess organic materials is probably the theme for this month.
Yeah, museums are awesome. Honestly, it's kind of like my ideal day out to just grab people, just go to a museum and then just contemplate stuff. If you want to do that as a team day out, I'm so down for it. Or if you want to go to the aquarium as well, that'd be awesome. But yeah,
Always.
let's do it. So yeah, I think drawing from the natural world, drawing from history is such a great idea too because we have such a rich history, and I think it's some of it's stranger than fiction as well. So absolutely looking up um, if you can't go to a museum, often museum websites have full resources for free where you can have a good look at the items they have in their catalog. So yeah, do have a look if you're ever stuck for inspiration as well. Oh, okay. So I've got another audience question, which I love as well. What is your playlist when you're working on your art? What are you listening to? So Katie, I'm gonna go to you.
Oh my gosh, I think it really depends on my mood. I have like so many different Spotify playlists depending on the season, depending on the day. I have
Yeah.
like I have a playlist saved recently which was like music from what was it? There's a driving game on Sega that's like completely left my brain right now, but like the music was very like drum and bass, like summer kind of vibes, and it's like totally left
Oh,
my
so
brain.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it actually might be Outrun. But yeah, something like that really motivates me to like keep going because I'm like almost like yeah, like drawing on a beat or like yeah, like doing stuff like
Mhm.
on the beat almost. But yeah, anything goes, I think, for me generally.
Oh my gosh, no wonder your art is so fast because you're listening to racing music. You work fast. Yeah, that's really cool. I've been actually listening to a lot of Wipeout soundtracks, so I totally am on that same vibe as well. A lot of it is like kind of like rave like techno music, which is very cool. Um Oku, do you have a fave playlist? Does it affect you depending on what music you listen to?
I don't really have a specific playlist, but I listen my weekly discovery on Spotify. It actually gives me quite interesting new like small artists. And if I need to concentrate on something, I usually just listen lo-fi, with not much going on.
Mhm.
Um, if I want to get in the mood, I listen sometimes like game soundtracks. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think weekly discovery on Spotify is quite nice. It gives like
Mm.
new music. Yeah.
Yeah, new music, new inspiration. Yeah. Anna, do you have a fave playlist you listen to?
I am also like Oku in the same vibe that I listen to almost all the things in random. Like I put everything in
Oh.
like and then I just shuffle them because I
Oh.
think the excitement of not knowing what is next is
Mm.
keeps me awake. Because if
Right.
I am hearing the same type of music, it kinds of all shades into one same wavelength and then I fall asleep.
Uh-huh.
But I do have favorites. I do like for example to hear Ghost a lot of the times as well, and it keeps me
Oh, yes.
awake.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm. Yeah.
also Persona, the music from
Hell
like the video games
yeah.
as well,
Very
and
cool.
those two are like keeping me awake. So that's amazing for me. And
Oh,
the
amazing.
and the ones that are like recommended to you by Spotify. That's also you can
Mhm.
find some weird music there. That's amazing as well.
Yeah, the recommendation algorithm is so good, isn't it? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very cool. Mia, have I picked on you yet? Have you
No,
shared your
not yet.
playlist? Mm-hmm.
Um, so currently I've been listening to a lot of a Japanese artist called Eve.
Oh.
He's got some really good music. But it's also because all of his music videos are animated and they're all really,
Wow.
really well animated. So I'd really recommend other people look into it as well. 'Cause it's really good.
Oh my gosh, you'll have to share
Um,
that in the music channel after this.
yeah,
We are
sometimes
dying
I'll
to
just
see that.
watch them. I'm like, "Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
wish I could do something like that someday." Um,
So cool.
Other than that, I tend to listen to like hyper pop, K-pop kind of stuff.
Mm.
I like high energy for when I'm working. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, lots of great recommendations. Yeah, please pop your recos and music guys after this as well. We wanna see them all. Um, okay, so we've got 10 minutes left, so I'm going to go through as many of the audience questions as we can. But reminder to everybody, we are still around in this community. So if you ever wanted to ask us outside of Dev Q&As, you can. So do you do activities to maintain team art consistency? Or do you hire based on art style from day one? That is really interesting. And we've got Sarah in the chat as well. So Sarah, you might be able to talk about this a little bit. So let's tackle the first part of it is, do we do activities to maintain team art consistency? So let's I'm gonna go to you, Katie. You're gonna be my go-to for like kind of like team, like art team stuff. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I got
Yeah,
sidetracked.
no problem. No worries, no worries. Yeah, I picked on you while you were putting a really banging recommendation in chat. So do we do activities to maintain team art consistency?
Yeah, so things like workshops,
Mhm.
and yeah, just generally, I guess like doing the group weekly like team catch-ups and things like that. I guess
Mhm.
is useful. Um, and yeah, I think yeah, stuff like that. I think
Mhm.
it's good.
Yeah, I think well, I mean, when speaking as a producer and just kind of being kind of an observer of you guys as well, I think you've all been very good about communicating what you've been working on. Um, and just like kind of showing what you've been working on so everyone sort of gets inspired by each other and knows where you're at. Sarah, you've jumped in the chat. We've got a new we've got a new contender in the ring. Sarah, do you want to talk about this a little bit for the especially the second half of the question, which is
Yeah.
do you hire based on art style from day one?
Yeah, I can be quick. Yeah, so hiring, to be honest, we base hiring and who we bring on the team more around soft skills rather than anything else. Like if you can obviously prove that you can do like you're just interested in the style that we're doing, that's enough really for us. Because anyone's going to be like capable as an artist, right? And if you're motivated enough and you have like good collaboration skills, that's the main thing. And Katie, I thought it might be an interesting point to bring up the art Bible that you've put together as well as a way to keep things consistent within the team. And I'll
Yes,
drop out.
please. Yeah. Oh, bye.
Bye.
Yes, Katie, please speak about the art Bible. You've done so much great work on that side of things.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's like pretty standard practice. It's like something I've learnt from like developing work in other areas of the industry. But yeah, like I guess especially as we're a team where we have a lot of people that like collaborate with us and come in and out of the project. We have freelancers, contractors, whatever. But like yeah, having some form of like base and consistency where people can go to and look at and kind of immediately understand what we're trying to achieve, like pretty and pick up on things easily when not everybody, like everyone's busy and doesn't necessarily have time to explain things. Having a base where we've like landed all of our information and yeah, like a collective knowledge area about the game is always incredibly useful. I do implore any team that's developing projects to consider. It doesn't have to be super in depth. We're not talking about like pages and pages of like references and turnarounds and whatever. It could just be as simple as like what's your poly count, how to export things out of Blender, how to do your setup, and like just like somewhere that people can look at and immediately understand like, oh okay, like yeah, I know how this project operates basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's especially as a remote team, I think it's one of those things that really help us be try and be as self-sufficient as possible, so we're not kind of constantly waiting on someone to answer a question when it's already readily available. Oyku, Anna, Mia, how have you been finding working within those guidelines and talking about consistency? Anybody ready to go?
It's like a little like, oh, who's gonna speak?
Yes. Yeah.
But I find it really useful because it's really good to have something to look back and kind of ground yourself whenever you feel lost. And I always have it up on my if I have the second screen available. um I always like put the mirror boards in there and make sure I do that back and forward. And also having weekly meetings is really useful as well. Something to sort of like look forward to.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, again, it's constant communication and kind of running things by each other whenever we're not sure is always going to be useful. And because sometimes you can have as much stuff in the art Bible as you like, but genuinely someone will come up with a one-off case where we're like, huh, we actually did not think about that. Let's discuss that right now. So yeah, that again has been really useful too. Mia, Anna, did you have any thoughts about like working from an art Bible, or again, any thoughts about consistency?
Yeah, the like we have meetings like every like 3-4 days, to be honest, and that's been really helpful.
Mm.
And just being able to put things in the chat and just all artists can have feedback. And I think there's always at least someone awake on the Discord, which has always been really helpful.
Yeah, yeah, defo. Anna, how about you? Have you got any thoughts about consistency?
I think what has been nice about Panda Cat games is the ability that I could, if there is any doubts or anything that I have like worries on my mind, that I could always have been answered by someone in the team. So that was amazing for me to have being consistent and everything in the art, or like what to do or everything. It was really nice to have this like I responded and everything, so that's amazing.
Yeah, that's great. I will say, as a producer, I do feel very spoiled because you guys are very self-sufficient and do tend to just work together really well. So I feel very quite hands-off when it comes to the team. But yeah, and as you can see in chat, we have a sneak peek from our art Bible. So that's just an example of what we're talking about when we're agreeing on shape language, or just like a general look that we're all trying to aim for. Okay, so we've got 6 more minutes, so hopefully we can fit one or two more questions in. We've got a question from friend of Panda Cat, Nerys. Is there an image from your recent Steam page screenshots or scene within the game that the team is most proud with how the scene is put together? Ooh, great question. Great question. Anna, again, I'm gonna just circle back around. Do you have like a favorite scene that we've done? Maybe for the trailer, maybe for like the Steam page. That's your favorite.
Oh, well, it was amazing to see in the trailer, like in the bridge. Like I didn't knew it was going to be animated with all the people like there with the smoke and everything repairing the bridge. So it was
That
oh, a nice surprise to see it. So I think it was really cute to see it in the video. Uh-huh.
yeah. If I recall, Katie, I think that was you adding some really clever effects, right? Of like little clouds of effort being done to fix the broken bridge.
Yes, that was a very last minute decision to make because we were like, how do we animate this bridge being fixed? And we were like, well, we don't. We just imply it with some like really vague clouds and visual effects and things kind of flying out. Like, yeah, that was a very like last minute ditch effort when putting things together for deadlines. But I think it looks really good as a result.
Yes, it is very good. And this is why you should have a great technical artist on your team, because they can solve for this kind of stuff with very clever solutions. And Katie, while you're talking, do you have a favorite scene within the game or from our screenshots or the trailer that you were particularly fond of?
Yes, well, this is because I'm entirely biased, but I did a lot of the set dressing for this, so I think I have a lot of opinions about this. But I think my favorite one, I feel like it's a kind of like a toss up between like the boat with the foliage like coming down. That one was really easy to do
Gorgeous.
and really quick, but it looked really efficient, like really nice, like pretty much straight off the bat. But also like developing the marketplace because yeah, like we collaborated with Miami Avalon with creating the assets for that, and it was like yeah, really nice to be able to like get all the assets in and then like setting up all the tiny little pieces, all the little foods and plates and all the little stools and chairs. Like it was like living in like a dollhouse almost. Like and I felt a bit bad because like obviously like they'd done all of like the effort with like actually making all the beautiful 3D artwork and and like doing it really efficiently as well, I have to say. And yeah, I just got to basically like place it all together, and I think the final result kind of speaks for itself. I think it looks really lovely.
Yes, we've got lots of lovely Southeast Asian fruits in there as well, like mangosteens and I believe, do we have like star fruit? Oh, we have dragon fruit and stuff in there as well. So really beautiful stuff. Mia, do you have a favorite?
I do. The waterfall scene's actually my favorite as well.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's just one of those where the first time I saw it, I went, "Wow, this is going to be really good." It just feels really inviting and like feels so like in there already.
Mm.
It's just really well done, and again, a lot of it's Katie.
Yeah, no, I mean, truly a team effort, for those of you who may not have the full context of what the art pipeline is like in game dev, it has to start from a concept. So a 2D artist will have to create the idea, and then that's fleshed out, and the 3D artist has to make it, and then there's further refinement and conversations and collaboration with the team. So, everyone in this team has had something to do with everything you're seeing in the chat, certainly. Oyku, who have I not picked on yet? Okay, have I picked on you for a favorite scene?
My favorite scene is literally the first second in the trailer. No, no, shockingly, is where the gate is. I just really like how
Oh, that you designed.
to be honest, it's not about like the design. I love the 3D. I'm really sorry. I forgot who actually did the was it Mia or Ana who did the 3D for the gate.
It might have been. Oh, I think it
Is
was
it
Kai.
Kai?
Yeah.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
trying to remember.
Yeah.
I just love how it turned out, and especially with Katie's like set dressing. It's just like the whole scene looks really good. I'm not too bothered about the 2D drawing by itself. Really, it's just like have it all worked out with like everyone's effort in there. And yeah, I love the god rays like just sort of shining on it.
Yeah,
That's my
no,
favorite
it does
scene.
look gorgeous. Yes, I recommend everyone look at the trailer in slow motion and just like look at everything, appreciate everything because it is wonderful what the artists have done. Okay, so unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. There are so many more questions I actually wanted to ask you guys, but we will certainly get you guys for a future Dev Q&A, I'm sure. We've really enjoyed having all of you here with us. We're so excited to share more news about what we're working on. But in the meantime, do continue to stick around in our Discord. Keep asking questions, keep talking. For more events and community activities, we'd love to see you for future ones. And as always, we appreciate any support. So do wishlist Heartwood Village and follow us on Steam if you haven't already. I'm going to just drop the link to our Steam page in chat. But yes, for now, we shall say goodbye. And thank you so much for spending your time with us. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you, artists. Thank you so much. Really great answers to the questions. So, yeah.
Thank you for
Bye
having us.
bye.